Hey, what's up? Zach here, and today I have got the all-new Anta Kai 2 Speed. A lot of similarities to the Kai 1 Speed, although a little bit of different feel, a little bit of different build, but philosophy, at least to me, kind of the same. Thanks to Kickzone for sending me a pair of these. Check out. If you want to check out a pair for yourself, make sure you check out the link in the description below. I think there's a discount code there, but check it out down below. That's where I get most of my Anta shoes. Now, number one with the Kai 2 Speed, the uppers, really bulky, padded. The tongue, really thick padding in there, which is just fantastic. And you get a netted gusset in there that goes actually the whole length of the forefoot and the midfoot of the shoe, and that creates that gusset. And then in the rear foot, it almost looks like an Adidas shoe with the pods in the back there keeping you into the shoe. Really, heel slippage on these, absolutely zero, just none to speak of at all. Now this thing on the breathability test, and that to me, I think was the biggest surprise of the Kai 2 Speed, and that is, I thought fog was not going to get it anywhere just because when you put them on, the uppers just feel so bulky, so padded, like a bear hug around you. None. It wasn't like that at all. The fog was actually coming out of all these little eyelet holes here you see in the medial and lateral side of the shoe. Now, these also have some plastic or like TPU components here too. You don't get a runner's knob. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but you know, it's always nice to be able to have the choice. These are more just cuffed lace eyelets here. But the other great thing you see too is you get an external heel counter that comes in here with the lateral stabilizer. We'll talk about that in the midsole, but then that also complements an internal heel counter right here as well. So you're getting really a double heel counter in the best way possible. Really everything about these uppers was substantial, to me felt premium, felt really containing, much like a flagship shoe. To me, the uppers on these are every bit of a flagship shoe, except for they're not. All right, getting into the midsole teardown of the Anta Kai 2, you've got an entire bed of A-Shock foam. On the microscope, it looks like EVA, could be an EVA blend. It is very soft and springy, super comfortable underfoot for sure. Then you've got a butterflied shape, plastic top-loaded shank. It does have some undulations in it. It does basically span the entire midfoot. It is top-loaded, like I said. A lot of support there. Honestly, I could feel a ton of arch support in these things. Almost like the old Ace skate shoes. I don't know if anybody remembers though, but they used to have those little arch inserts in them you could take out, put out or in those skate shoes. And that's exactly what these feel like. Now there is a lot of material bunched up in there. That could be some of it. And the fact that there is, this is the lateral side, but the fact that there is like, you see all this bunched up material here. And then there is a lot of EVA that comes up over here too with the carriers. That might be the reason why you're feeling a lot of it. It does kind of break down and break in a little bit. And if you wear orthotics, you're not even gonna notice it, but there is a little bit more oomph under the arch, put it that way. Now looking at these things on the bounce height test, got 36 centimeters in the rear foot, 35 in the forefoot. That is what you'd expect from a more elastic EVA, a more dense elastic EVA. But then look at this thing on the tensiometer, took 50 newtons to get it to 45 degrees, which is, I like, that's kind of right there, upper level of that range. It's not too stiff. This thing here, I mean, it does bend appropriately right where you want it to. It has a nice little snap back there. And torsional stability, fantastic. A little bit more, in the forefoot, but the midfoot stays nice and stable. So all in all, you could compare this to like a little more injection molded Phylon or Cushlon 3.0 type foam. Kind of the comfort of the Cushlon 3.0, maybe a little bit more spring, top loaded shank, like I said. Really everything about these, comfort, but enough performance for sure. And just coming out of the midsole, kind of on the periphery, like I said, this does also have an external TPU stabilizer. It goes all the way here to the medial, or I said middle of the heel. Actually, that does go a little bit to the medial side of the heel counter. And so there is a lot of lateral stability in these. Honestly, the shoe is not that heavy for how stable these things are side to side. So especially, for pretty hard pivoting, someone that's a little bit heavier, the midsole foam being as dense as it is, the top loaded shank plus this stabilizer on the outside, that's pretty good, really no matter what profile you are. I'll be getting into the outsole tread of the Kai 2 Speed. Been seeing this a lot recently with the peripheral rubber and then a central pod of rubber. Now this is a full length tread pattern. The middle section here is a little bit of a softer compound. Outside is a little bit, a little bit harder. It comes in at 17.5 and 19 on the durometer, so nothing crazy, but it's up there. And this is one big slab of herringbone in the middle here, and then basically just a digital traction on the periphery, and then one big undulation here that separate these two treads. Now look at this thing on the grip test ramp. It did slip at 28 degrees, so it's a little bit slicker. And I noticed just on my floor, if I really paid attention to staying foot flat, the grip was very confident on an indoor hardwood court. To me, this tread is meant more for outdoor courts. Look at it on the outsole durability test, 10 seconds highest grit sandpaper. Yeah, I mean, not a millimeter of damage on this. And like I said, a lot of times with Anta, Leaning, all these companies, you're getting lower durometers and much higher durability. That's kind of what you're seeing here. Now, if it withstands outdoor courts, for a long period of time, that is the question. I think, they should, just given what Anta has done in the past. But to me, that's really where these grip the best. On indoor courts, like I said, they're okay. A little bit of forgiveness there. Like I said, I just concentrate on where you're putting your foot down. You'll know what I'm talking about when you get them on a hardwood floor. You can kind of tell how these like to be used. To me, they really like to be foot flat, not necessarily on the periphery, kind of like the AE2, where I wouldn't slip slide in those two. Honestly, these felt a little bit more confident than the AE2 did, even on the indoor courts. So, like I said, to me, kind of a mixture, indoor and outdoor courts, but to me, I think just the grip profile, the tread profile, probably does its best work on outdoor courts. All right, let's talk some fit of the Kai 2 Speed. Number one, they only have an 9-degree inflare, I'm sorry. It looks like it's a lot more for some reason. I think it's just the shape of this thing here, but it is only 9 degrees, it's pretty mellow. And they do commit 28.8 centimeters in length, 9.7 centimeters metatarsal width, 9.8 of toe box width, and a toe box taper of only 32 degrees. And when I was measuring it here, I took the insole out, and the insole, is a little bit more squared off here than, a lot of other ones. You can kind of even tell from the insole too. So they're pretty mellow in the toe box. I was shocked really at how they felt on foot versus what they look like. I think it's because of these TPU things. I think it makes it look like it's more pointed than it really is. But if you're a narrow, medium foot, you just go true to size, 2E, I think you can go true to it. The only thing is, you have a tailor's bunion, this is gonna annoy you. You're gonna wanna go up a half size. A 4E, I'd be going up one half size in these things for sure, if not one size in a 4E because of this thing. If you don't have a really bulky lateral side of your foot, like no tailor's bunions, no prominent styloid, anything like that, I think a 4E can go up one half size, and a 2E can go true, or try, just get one half size up if you want a little bit more roomy fit. Like I said, they lock down so well, that's fine. But if you have anything, like I said, tailor's bunion or prominent styloid, anything out here, lump bump, you're definitely gonna wanna go up a 2E a half size and a 4E one full size on these things. In terms of the snake bit and foot, I really don't see a problem with these really whatsoever. Number one, they do fit an orthotic just fine. And because of all the padding here in the heel, as long as the orthotic isn't posted like crazy and pushing you up into those pads, honestly, you should be just fine. In terms of heel pain, arch pain, ball of foot pain, this foam is fantastic. That A-Shock foam, I mean, for shock absorption, really just for general comfort, it should be just fine. It's dense enough. I think it's gonna last. I don't think it's gonna, break down too soon. And then the top-loaded shank, and that top-loaded shank is wide, pretty broad, so I think it's gonna hold the foam up well. So really, whatever you're bringing, I think it's just fine. Ankle sprainers, I think, are just fine for these things. To me, outdoor shoe, pickleball, basketball, and tennis for sure. This is definitely a triple threat shoe. To me, this is one of the better tennis and pickleball shoes on the market right now. I think people are gonna love kind of that full length tread pattern, pretty nimble, but also pretty comfortable shoe. It's not super heavy, but it's got a ton of lateral stability. So I'll bet you'll see some legends playing in these for tennis and pickleball for sure. So I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. No, I mean, they're not the typical Anta, for sure. Like the Kai 10, not the Kai 10, oh my God, the KT10, the Kai 1 and the Kai 2, definitely a little snappier, right? And this one does have a little bit of pop to it, but a little more shock absorbing shoe. But I like that because now you got, a little bit of choice within the lineup. Anta is definitely, it's definitely coming for that best basketball shoe line, out there right now. I think there's a lot of competition right now. There's a lot of good shoes out there, but Anta just consistently is making really good product after really good product. So love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you want to see what I'm talking about with the AE2, if you want to see me go for a real ice skate on that court right there, it's very humorous. I do not censor myself. If I fall on court, I put it in the videos. So if you want to check out that, make sure you click into this video right here and subscribe down below. I'll see you in the next video.